The Aardvark is in. Hello Aardvarks, I'm Fandom101 and for my first video I'm going to be telling you 25 things about me. Some of these are just random facts, some of these have some kinds of significance. A lot of them are fandom related because, well, if my channel name didn't make that perfectly clear that I'm an obsessive fangirl, I don't know what will. So here are 25 things about me. First off, my favorite poets are William Shakespeare and Edgar Allan Poe. William Shakespeare is also my favorite playwright. I really like Shakespeare, if you couldn't tell. My favorite poem is Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. Why? Because it's really haunting, there's really nice language, it's romantic, albeit dark romanticism, but it's romantic. I'm writing a paper on it for English class, so technically the paper is just on Poe. But moving on, I was born in Virginia. I have taken both the Ilvermorny and Hogwarts sorting quizzes on Pottermore. In Hogwarts, I'm a Slytherin, and in Ilvermorny, I'm a Wampus. I'm also a rock fan, if you couldn't tell. I live in many fandoms. These fandoms include things like Dan and Phil, aka the Fandom, Gravity Falls, The Simpsons, Family Guy, Harry Potter, The Big Bang Theory, Disney, like Disney, if that doesn't paint a big enough picture. Not Frozen though, never Frozen. That's overmarketed. Elsa just needs to let it go. It's about time. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I actively obsess over several bands. 7, to be exact, one for each Horcrux. These bands include Black Veil Brides, Evanescence, Skillet, Hailstorm, Within Temptation, We Are the Fallen, and 3 Days Grace. I've been listening to Evanescence since I was a freshman, Skillet since about the same time, 3 Days Grace since about the same time, Within Temptation since earlier this year, Hailstorm since earlier this year, and Black Veil Brides since 6 months ago, maybe, but I'm obsessed. I need band merch. If anyone wants to buy me band merch, I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna make you buy me band merch. I can buy my own band merch. Anyway, moving on. My favorite genre of music is rock, and heavy metal, and glam metal. I also really like classical music though, because I find that it's very intricate and it's very deep. If you want to talk music with me, that's great, but let's talk rock or classical. No rap, I don't like rap. Or modern music. I know, strike me down. It's just not as deep to me. Doesn't hold as much meaning. I am a Leo. I play piano, ukulele, and I sing. I own a lot of wigs. In case you were wondering, this is not my actual hair. This is, in fact, one of my wigs. It's 32 inches long, and that's 84 centimeters for all you people on the metric system. If you just in case you needed to know that, you probably did, since you're on the metric system. I'm not actually a ginger. Like the doctor, I've gone through so many regenerations, but I never end up a ginger. So despairing. When it comes to Disney, I tend to not play favorites. But honestly, full disclosure, my favorite character in Disney of all time is Maleficent. I think that she's really pretty, she's amazing, and Eleanor Audley, best Maleficent ever. Although I do believe Helena Bonham Carter would make a fantastic Maleficent. Let's petition for that to happen. I am obsessed with Disney. If you couldn't tell, but that's okay, because, I forgive you. It's fine. I'm cool with it. I went to Disney World when I was 7. It was an amazing experience. I would like to go back, but Universal comes first. And luckily, I'm going to Universal after I graduate high school, so I only have a year to go. My favorite color is green. I love Tom Felton. Like, if I could marry Tom Felton, I would. And that would be totally fine. Doesn't really matter that he's older than me. Age is just a number. But there is a line that you shouldn't cross. So don't cross it if you don't want legal trouble. I have a deep love for science. I'm in chemistry this year, and I have a wallet-sized periodic table. I have a periodic table refrigerator magnet. It's a little bent, and that makes me sad. But it's okay because it's still awesome. And right next to my bed, I just so happen to have a rather large periodic table poster. That's like 4 pages of computer paper. It's not small, I can tell you that much. Anyway, I also have 2 Erlenmeyer flasks, 2 graduated cylinders, and 2 beakers. So, and there's all that. I just love science. One time, my sister and I took a Harry Potter quiz. Which Weasley twin are you? I'm Fred. She's George. Coincidence? I think not. On top of that, I am still not okay after the loss of Alan Rickman. It makes me very, very emotional. I think I'm gonna go cry now. I'll be back. So I've returned from my internal mourning fest. It's still not okay, but I've got to go on with the list. So, my favorite American author is Ellen Hopkins, and my favorite British author is J.K. Rowling. Now, if Shakespeare and Poe were still alive, the 2 of them would have to really go at it, throw down with Ellen Hopkins and J.K. Rowling in order to claim that title. In all honesty, I still wouldn't pick favorites. I would say that they're all my favorites. Because I'm just really not one to pick favorites. Most of the time I try to avoid it. But I love Neil Patrick Harris. Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog is how I How I Met Your NPH. Get it? Because he was on How I Met Your Mother, and that joke just died with the crowd. But I highly recommend this. You can find it on YouTube. A lot of the versions are subtitled, but that's okay because you've got your Nathan Fillion, you've got your NPH, you've got your Catherine Felicia Day, and you've got your Simon Helberg. Boop. In fact, I'll read the teaser just to give you a little glimpse at what it's about, because you need to check it out. Neil Patrick Harris, How I Met Your Mother, stars as Billy, also known as Dr. Horrible, a budding supervillain whose plans for world domination continually go awry. His two goals: getting accepted into the Evil League of Evil, and working up the guts to speak to his laundromat crush, Penny, played by Felicia Day, the Guild. The only thing standing in his way is Captain Hammer, Billy's superhero arch-nemesis, played by Nathan Fillion, Firefly. With one big score, Billy could get into the ELE and earn the respect of Penny, but only if he can keep her away from the dashing Captain Hammer. And if you don't know about my close personal friend, not really Rebecca, who's also on YouTube, she is also obsessed with Dr. Horrible, and when I first met her in freshman year, basically that was how we became really close friends. We used to sing several of the songs from the soundtrack at the end of English class, and it probably pissed everyone off, but we didn't care because we were fangirling, and fandoms are very important. I really like horror movies. I've probably seen more than 50. Honestly, I've lost count at this point, but I've seen a lot and I know I have. Some of my favorites include John Carpenter's The Ward. It's from 2011. It's about a girl who goes to a psychiatric institute and learns that there are some things about her even she didn't know. I also really like The Shining, because Stephen King, man. Stephen King's great. The Children of the Corn, also Stephen King. The remake kind of ruined it, though. I did like how they gave one of the main characters, Bert, a backstory and made him a military veteran. That was cool, but I did not like how they portrayed Vicky. She was really whiny, she was really wimpy, and I didn't like it, and she kept yelling at him, but then he punched her in the face, so it was fine. I'm very strongly opinionated about these kinds of things. So, hopefully you don't dislike me for that, because I'm really not trying to, I don't know, that's how I feel about things. Number 24. This is a weird one. When I search my aunt on Google Images, Dan and Phil pop up. Dan and Phil. There used to be a lot more pictures of them when I typed in my aunt's name. Earlier this year, last year in 2016, but it's basically just come down to a picture of Dan from the early days of Fetus Dan with, it's like a GIF, not an animated GIF, but a GIF of him with the word peasants written at the bottom, and he's making a face kind of like this, as the oh so classic Dan. If I can manage to put it in this video, I will include it at the end, so you can see some Fetus Dan peasant's gift. And number 25, I call myself and my subscribers aardvarks because an aardvark is my Patronus. And I think aardvarks are adorable. Like, just look up a picture of an aardvark, they're really cute. So that was my first video. Thanks for watching, guys, and Andy Biersack, what are you doing here? Well, I guess Andy Biersack just shows up for Random Fans YouTube videos. That's nice to know. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks again for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. All that YouTube stuff keeps the videos coming. Queen Aardvark out.